Hello again and welcome to everyone. We are here with another episode of Schnozzcast. You are joined by Bob and Cory and Todd. Mr. Selesky, how are you, sir?
Oh, hello, and almost Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, yeah. We've, feels like forever since we've been...
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Jonica?
Sure. Or is it Chanukah?
Sure.
Kwanzaa Hanukkah.
Kwanzaa Hanukkah. Kwanzaa Hanukkah Christmas.
Quantons?
There you go.
Crispy croutons to everybody.
Sounds like you get from a Chinese restaurant.
Todd Dillon, how are you, sir?
I am delicious and nutritious, Bob. How are you?
I'm good. Let's just get this right out of the way right now because I'm so happy to be I'm so happy to be back here with you guys. The last episode of 2024. We don't normally announce the date because these tend to be like moments in time that can be listened to at any point. But today is Saturday, December 28th, 2024. This will be the last Schnozzcast episode of the year. And I think I'd have to do the math, but I imagine it's the 52nd episode of the year because I don't think we missed an episode all year. And I'm going to start off by asking Todd Dillon what he's drinking.
Oh, I love that you asked that. I am drinking tonight for my beer. I'm drinking little Black Raven beer rings, Coco Jones Coconut Porter.
Yep.
And for my shot, I'll be drinking that Cocoa Bomb, baby. Chocolate whiskey.
So a lot of chocolate, a lot of cocoa.
Oh, yeah. Chocolate and coconuts. Yeah.
All right. I got myself the Arizona peach hard iced tea. And Cory's got, what do you got, Cory?
Glad you should mention,
Jesus,
Bob.
you
No,
did?
I got it.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, we'll take this time to test out.
Son of a bee.
So
you're just going to take it and like walk?
yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go for it.
So for those of you that don't know.
Wait, can I give you, hold on. Can I just disconnect and give you the kit? Give you the camera?
As long as you can hear me.
Okay. That's the next part, though. That's
Yes.
the next part. Take
Yeah,
the camera.
We can do that.
Okay.
But I want to test out the microphone right. So I'm actually going to the kitchen right now, Todd. I am all the way at the fridge.
Listen to how proud he is.
And let me see what I'm going to grab to drink.
And it was a peacock, a slow peacock.
Yeah, we really didn't think this through because you should have been able to take
It's like a little peacock.
the phone.
Well, I only have two hands, Bob.
Listen,
Yeah, exactly.
you're a modern. You're a
dude,
modern
That's
gentleman.
what she said.
Wait till I have to go to the bathroom. This is going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Cory, did you watch your movie?
Look at that.
Yes, I did watch my movie, and here it is.
Yeah, I could be taking a deucer while we're doing the podcast.
Or an upper decker. This is
Well, I mean,
house.
it is
Works
your
out.
house.
Or if
This
it's
is
naked
your
room,
house.
then we can.
Take it in the naked room.
This works out, Bob. And he can take it in the naked room. We can be outside of said naked room where people naked ass on the couch and whatnot.
Possibly. So what are you drinking, Cory?
I now have a Bud Light hard soda.
Yeah.
I had a Mountain Dew, a hard Mountain Dew in there as well, but I think I'm going to start with a soda.
A bold choice, sir.
You know, I always like to switch it up.
But we are also mixing up. It's a potent concoction of not necessarily in the same glass, but Pink Whitney and Fireball
That is true.
for the liquor of the day. Yeah, not necessarily mixed together. That would be disgusting.
That would be terrible.
Not that they're not disgusting all by themselves, separately, individually, one after the other. You know, consecutively. You're trying to do something special with the camera up there?
No, I'm just figuring out some last minute things.
All right,
here.
while you're figuring that out, so let's get housekeeping out of the way. So if you're new to the podcast, thank you so much for joining. It has been a great 2024 for us, and that would not have been possible without you. So thank you so much for returning. If you are returning, if you're new, we're here every weekend, every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We go live. Look, if we happen to take a week off, you know, like we've got a vacation plan or whatever, we won't necessarily be live on Saturday, but there will always be a new episode that drops out on the streaming services, you know, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get a podcast, every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So If you subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast, it'll let you know right on your phone. Here, we've got a new episode. It's coming out. It's dropping. And if we're going live, you're out on YouTube. If you've subscribed to us, it'll tell you that too. So if you want to reach out to us and let us know how you feel about the podcast, or you've got a question that you want us to answer, or you've got some relationship advice that you want to ask Todd Dillon to comment on, you can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com. Or you can comment or DM us. Best way to do that is on Instagram at Schnozzcast, or on Threads, where we spend a lot of our time as well. So big shout out to all the people on Threads who've been very, very supportive to us throughout the year 2024. When we discovered that Threads is a platform.
Two of us.
Sorry, what did I say that you're commenting on?
You said to have been very supportive to us. Is it to or of us?
Well, they've supported us, but they've been supportive to us in many different ways. They have supported us.
They gave us money? They did?
There have been a couple.
Did they give us something?
There have been a couple people who've given us a couple of bucks. And to them, I say, tip of the cap to
There we
you,
go,
sir.
then. They've been supportive to us.
Yes. In many ways.
Mr. Harris, what up?
Yeah, I cannot see the chat, so
The
you guys
Mr.
gotta keep
Scottish
us
accent,
honest.
Mr. Scottish
I'll have
bro.
it up there in a second.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Let me just say. So that's the gentleman who did the Scottish accent from the Live Elks show,
Yeah, Billy.
Billy. Let's
Indeed.
take a minute to give a hearty thank you from the Schnozzcast to Billy, because when I went to listen to the episode again, and I drudged my way through, not that listening to the Schnozzcast is drudgery, but when you were there and you were hosting it, and then you have to listen to it all over again to edit it's kind of like, it's work. I'm listening to my own voice. I'm like, I know what I'm going to say next because I was there. I know what Cory's going to say because he said it there and I heard it once already. But when I got to Billy's part, it was like a light switch on the show. And immediately everything got like 15% better.
So I did have a chance to speak to him the Friday after we did the cast up there. And I told him, what you had told me about when you listened back to it.
Yeah.
And he was very, very happy and excited. And I told him that you specifically said, which all of us agree, the next one we do up there, he's on the entire time.
I would even extend the offer to him.
What? Only if he wears a kilt.
Oh, does Billy have a kilt? That is a question that needs to go in the chat. Does he have a scally cap?
That's what I was thinking. I mean,
Yeah.
Todd, I do like the enthusiasm of the kilt, but you're really not going to be able to see that on camera.
Well, that depends on how we angle
Dude,
the camera.
based on how much manwood you said he had.
That camera goes then
I would hope
underneath
that
the
we'd be able to see
table.
something.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that is true. That is true. And not to discount, Lori says, all the land seen, gentlemen. I know I pronounce it.
I know you're pronouncing it
I know.
incorrectly, probably, but why don't you spell it? Because I just have to know.
AULD
That's correct.
LANG
That's correct.
SYNE.
She's got it.
Gentlemen.
How'd she spell
But she
gentleman?
put land. She put land though. She
No. That was
land.
no. That was
It's
Cory
LAND.
mispronouncing Lang as land.
JUNG.
No. I'm looking at the chat right now, Bob.
Well, wait. So what is it? Did she spell it right? It should be LANG.
She spelled lang wrong. That's the only one she got wrong.
No, hang
no.
on.
Okay,
Hang on.
Hold on.
For confirmation, 'cause
Yeah.
there are two back-to-back here that
Okay.
Lori sent.
Okay.
The first one is Lang, which that's the one I put up on the screen.
Uh-huh.
And then for some reason, she sent another comment, which I did not put up, that said land.
You're the man. And here I just exposed the incorrectness of that comment to the internet.
Well, it's what we do.
You tried to hide it, and I'm like, nope.
Tried to bury it.
Yep. Sorry
It's
about
all
that.
right.
But yes, this is the
Billy says he has a kilt.
yes. Does he have the hose and like what do they call it? The flashing. It's like a garter that
I'm
goes
Polish.
across the top of the sock, which is up at
A
knee height.
A lashing?
Flashing, I thought. It could be lashing. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
like
Polish as shit.
0.00001% Irish. So don't take what I'm saying as gospel.
Well, and Bob.
Yeah.
You might have to keep an eye out.
We
on
never
Billy.
do, Bob.
You might have to keep an eye out on Billy here.
Yeah.
Lori said, I'm fond of a man in a kilt. So
Guess who else has got a kilt? Right here, buddy.
if
If Billy wears one,
Bobby
I
McGee.
will wear one. That is my contract over the internet to you, Billy. You wear it, I'll wear it.
that
Deal.
works.
Deal.
That works.
But I would also extend the invitation to Billy that if he wants to be on the show, we'd be happy to bring him in remotely at any point. We don't have to be up at the Elks. So
That is true.
yeah, it's not as though like, hey, that Billy guy, he's really good at the Elks, but anywhere else, like, nope, no, thank you. So at any point, if he wants to come on the show, we're happy to pull him in. But if we're gonna do that,
Happy, joy.
that's a deep Ren and Stimpy quote, sir, and I appreciate the hell out of that.
Absolutely.
But if we're gonna do like on the regular, like once or twice a month to bring Billy in or whenever he wants to, then we can't just go like all Scottish accent all the time. Like we're gonna have to dig deep into Billy's bag of tricks. Perhaps he's got, an Australian accent that puts mine to shame. Perhaps he's got an Irish brogue that is quite different than the Scottish brogue.
How could he not put yours to shame? Put yours to shame.
God, no one asked you, Todd. Let's assume that it's difficult to put mine to shame.
Hey, Gina.
Gina, the one who told me to stop it when I was doing the Australian accent. That was really the only feedback I got. That was stop it. So, gentlemen,
Didn't you see my?
is Todd dropping out?
I feel like he is.
I feel like you're dropping out, Todd, and I don't know
What's going on?
I can hear you. You can hear me.
Oh my gosh!
Now I can hear you go, oh my gosh. So let's assume that it
Cory's
is.
stupid wireless trash.
This is actually Bluetooth, so it has nothing to do with the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, this would be, if anything, this would be my Wi-Fi here. But anyway,
All right. I came in before you guys. I'll drop out quick and come back.
no, don't go anywhere because you're fine now.
Oh, he just left.
All right, that's on me. That's on me, internet. Nothing more I could say. So, guys, and I say guys, even though it's just you and me here, Cory.
Well, no, Gina and Lori are in the room.
Hey, I'm so happy to be back here with you. This is the last podcast episode of the year, and it has been quite a 2024, I think. And I think we should take, a few minutes to do a year in review, and I think we've all got some thoughts about how the years went and what we might have in store potentially for 2025.
We do. One last thing from Billy, though.
Yeah.
He wanted to know how the remote thing works. So, Billy, what we would do, we would send you a link to the switcher room, and you would just join that from your phone or from your laptop, whatever the case might be. And that's all you would have to do. And we'd be able to bring you into the room.
Well, he has to do 20 push-ups first, so he's pumped for the show.
On camera.
Well, duh.
Yeah, on camera, and get those bird legs out.
He did say he has chicken legs, so
a lot of guys who wear kilts have chicken legs.
including yourself.
No.
I knew that was going to dig deep.
I was gonna say, Bob's got monster calves.
And
I feel like all of us do now.
so Todd, before
No, go ahead.
And
Go
again,
ahead.
I hate to keep delaying the year in review.
No,
but
that's fine.
There was a
The year in
moment.
review?
Wait, did this happen in 2024? Maybe this is part of the year in review.
No, this was several years ago.
Damn it.
But we were out somewhere, and we were at a concert, and Bob and I both happened to have shorts on that day, and someone had commented and complimented my calves, even though Bob and I were standing right next to each other,
Yeah, as though I wasn't even there.
and never even made a single comment towards his.
Yeah.
And for the rest, Todd, for the rest of the night,
Yeah.
I could not hear the end of it.
I was in a Sour Patch mood.
He was very, very salty after that comment was made to me and not to him.
I'm like, that son of a bitch. He didn't even look my way.
And he's like, Well, this is weird. Like my calves are just as good as yours, if not better. And I'm like, well, no, clearly not, buddy, because mine were noticed before yours. So
not before mine. Mine were not noticed at all.
True, very true.
It was as though I was wearing some baggy hippie jeans with the wide flare leg, and he gave me I was on his pay no mind list. Whoever that dude was.
Didn't even see
He
Bob's
ruined
calves whatsoever.
He ruined my day that day, and has ruined every other day since then in which Cory brings this up. We're gonna try to.
Well, hey, if you want to feel better, want to feel better, Bob?
Yeah, I do.
Verena Hammond just said, "Hey, Bob and Todd," and she purposely excluded Cory. Hey, Verena.
Hey, Verena.
She's not signed in, so she's not in the chat. But
doesn't matter.
She's listening, and she said hello. She dissed Cory frickin' fine calves right to hell.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. My night's getting better already.
Wait till she gets a gander of the old calves of Cory.
Wouldn't you say? And this is going like far afield, and we really do need to start the podcast. But wouldn't you say that if the three of us, put our bare calves like laid them out on a table or some sort of display, it would be like a Popeye cartoon with the giant forearm. Like it would be really. I think that's one trait, as though we were all brothers from another mother.
Well, I mean, clearly I got the best of them, but
I'm just saying they're similar.
Oh,
I'm not saying that yours aren't the best, because clearly we know from a random stranger that they are.
I mean, even Gina says it's because Cory has.
No, we don't. Not the best between
calves.
you two, maybe.
That's true. Cory's calves aren't riddled with gray hairs and veins. So
not yet.
Yeah,
not yet.
Right.
And liver spots.
Liver. No, those go on the back of the hand. As if you zoom in here, you can see. So we really do need to start the show. So we're going to get started here any second. So 2024, we started off 2024 as a quartet. There were four Schnozzcast co-hosts, four gentlemen who did the huddle. We were the four horsemen, brain trust behind the show. And then in the middle of the year, Nick, our beloved co-host.
Somebody didn't make the cut.
Our beloved co-host decided to take a sabbatical of an undetermined amount of time from the show, which left us with the three that you've got now, Bob, Cory, and Todd. And that meant a couple of things for the show. Number one, we needed to change the location of the show from Nick's house to mine. And number two, it meant that the content that we could provide became all of a sudden wide open. Whereas before we'd all agreed to limit the amount of sports that we had every episode to 90 seconds or less. And we didn't talk a lot about movies because, Nick was not a huge movie watcher. So going through gentleman's agreement wasn't always necessarily a home run all the way around the board. So it kind of opened up.
He loved Jingle Jangle, though.
He loved Jingle Jangle. Who doesn't love Jingle? I actually have not been assigned Jingle Jangle, sadly.
Who doesn't?
I've never seen it.
I'm just gonna say
that
for the sake of everything,
list, buddy.
I have seen it.
We could prove that though, that you have or haven't. But
no, I'm saying I've watched it on my own when I was a wee lad.
Yeah. Perhaps you'd like to take the next 20 minutes.
It's that old.
An in-depth synopsis of the plot, Cory.
Yeah, I was born in '87. So I saw it sometime after that.
So that meant that it kind of opened up, the breadth of things that we could talk about and made us think differently about the show. And we've spent the last 5 or 6 months trying to, retool the show around this new paradigm. And we're going to continue to do that into 2025. The best thing I could say about...
That's a $10 word.
Retool?
No, paradigm.
Paradigm?
Very
okay.
nice. How you work that in there.
Paradigm.
Can Cory spell it?
I'm sure Cory could spell it.
Paradign.
You're the man.
Suck it, Todd.
But
You didn't think I was going to get that G in there, did you?
I thought you were going to D-I-M-E.
Yeah.
He's laughing quite hard for someone who didn't catch you misspelling the word, and I don't know why. He should be disappointed. Like, God damn,
He's got
I
a
really was hoping.
quick Google finger.
No.
So the last 6 months of the show have been really eye-opening and exciting, I would say, for a lot of different reasons, and we're going to continue that into 2025. So for 2024, gentlemen, and I would like to start with Todd here because I think Todd's got some serious specific thoughts about highs and lows for 2024. Todd, what do you have to reflect on for the last year?
Yeah, man. I think even though I love the show with the Four Horsemen, I think we found our groove. That's one thing that I'm really, really happy about. We were able to not miss a beat and continue to move forward and gain following and continue to grow as a team. And so I really think that's one of the really cool things about 2024. Next, I found a new church this last year, and that's been really, really awesome for me. The Olympics in 2024 in France was amazing. One of the best of my lifetime, I think. I think the Olympics, all the stuff that went on, Snoop Dogg, dressing up for all the stuff that he went to and just being a part of it made the Olympics the most fun I think I've ever had in my life. And then Michigan curb stomped Ohio State again. So those are the highs from 2024 for me. Anytime Michigan curb stomps Ohio State, that's a good year.
How about the lows? You got any low points?
Yeah, so I do have some lows. So the lows, this is on a serious note. So many school shootings that we can't even list them all. None of us can remember them. They're happening so often. We got to do something as a people to come together and not be divided on political lines. As a gun owner, I think that we should do some things to make people safe. I think having grown up in an age where I never ever feared for someone shooting us. I mean, ultimately, we were at the tail end of maybe a nuclear bomb will drop. Although we might be at the head of the snake now again. But anyway, I digress. I think that was one of the down things for 2024. Just so much angst and distaste and dislike and division in our country in 2024 was a big bummer. The next thing was all that Diddy stuff. Who knew that Diddy was having hot oil, baby oil parties with all the celebs? And
that's that was a low point.
I thought I was a bad boy for life.
Oh, because you were a bad boy for life, and all of a sudden you're like,
I was a bad boy for life. I was a bad boy for life.
I don't know if this is. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was going to continue with my list. Do you have something to comment on me being a bad boy for life?
No, I'll go back to that after you're done.
Rest of my list. That I only have one more singular thing and then one grouped thing. Downside, Michigan wasn't relevant in football this year. That was kind of a bummer. I mean, they made it to a bowl, but this was a down Michigan year, and they had a quarterback whose last name was Orgy. And could Google it. If you can't win and get into the playoffs with a quarterback whose name is Orgy,
yeah,
it doesn't get much better than that. How awesome would it have been to hear the word orgy again and again and again on a bowl game that actually meant something? So that was kind of a downer for me. And then my last kind of bulk, Gina, baby oil. Oh yeah, hot baby oil though. You can't have cold milk. We'll get into that in another episode. And then my last thing is, and I'm not gonna. This isn't an exhaustive list, but 2024 is a bit of a bummer because we lost some icons this year. We lost James Earl Jones, Chris Christopherson, Donald Sutherland, Quincy Jones, Bob Newhart. We lost John Amos. We lost Terry Garr. We lost frickin' Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers. We lost Tito Jackson, damn it. Martin Mull, man, 2024 reaped a lot. And Richard Lewis, I can't go with that one either. But that was kind of we lost so many good.
My bad.
keep going.
I got some echo coming back, but we lost Dr. Ruth.
Did we though?
Put the penis in the vagina.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
I think
We
I
lost-
think
we
I speak
lost
for the
Venus
whole
Vagina
show,
Lady.
and when I say we will never lose Dr. Ruth. She will live on here
Back from time to time.
in memory.
We lost so many people who were kind of part of my growing up. So yeah, those were the downers for 2024 for me.
Just to go back to Diddy just for a second, would you say, and I'm sure this is not necessarily a fair comparison, although would you say that your disappointment with not being able to be a bad boy for life anymore compared apples to apples with the newfound status of never being able to listen to Bill Cosby again? Cosby, are the scales
So here's
evening
the funny
out there?
thing. No.
Okay.
No, because so here's the interesting thing. I as a kid, I watched the Cosby, and I actually watched the Cosby Show a little bit, but I never was a huge Bill Cosby fan. I must have creeped out by him before we knew what kind of a dirtbag. But, so I wasn't. So Bill Cosby really didn't faze me, although more than any other person of color who shames us by doing dastardly deeds. And like I said, but Diddy, I actually liked some of his music. I guess I still like it, but he's a really bad boy for life.
Yeah, but you don't find yourself being like, well, I can't listen to that anymore.
I'm not a camp guy. I mean, ultimately, we still see. I watched the Santa Claus this holiday season, and Spacey's in there. I mean,
Oh, is he really?
ultimately, who these celebrities are on the screen is different than who they are in real life, and I think we need to separate those two things. So I'm not a huge cancel the art, because again, there was so much to chuckle at in the Santa Claus, and or was it? It was Fred Claus he was in.
I was gonna say,
He was in Fred Claus.
I was gonna say I didn't remember him.
Yeah,
from
he was in Fred
Santa
Claus.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Have I told you
I'm conflating
all the Claus movies? So many Claus movies. Have I told you guys my Fred Claus story?
Oh, and Lou Gossett Jr. died in 2024. Bob.
Lou Gossett. Sorry. Yeah, we can't forget. Mayonnaise.
Lou Gossett Jr., Officer and a Gentleman?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gina said pudding pops.
Have I told you guys my Fred Claus story?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
'Tis the season.
It is the season.
You punched Finch Vaughn in the junk?
So I used to belong to like a downriver poets and playwrights group. That might be the dorkiest thing I've ever said.
I was gonna say this is already eye opening.
Yeah.
I
was by
like
far
where this is going.
the youngest participant in this group by like 2 decades. And there were people there that were very old. I will just say it was really a surprise when they showed up when you walked in the door on a Thursday night of the monthly meeting that they actually made it there.
So you're just expecting like every Thursday.
Every Thursday to be
someone
so dropped dead. Yeah.
Lorraine's not going to make it this week.
Yeah. It was a tough week for Lorraine.
She died.
The Alzheimer's finally kicked in, and yeah. So there was a gentleman there whose name I shall not divulge, but suffice to say, he was a writer. He fancied himself a Bill Shakespeare, and so he started. There was like a period of like a whole year where he was writing a book, and the book was a Christmas book that he was writing for his kids. He had this idea for a story, and he had found a guy who could do illustrations, and so he put this whole story, and he would bring it to the monthly meeting and read like a new chapter or like an excerpt from some new piece of it to the group for like gentle criticism. And it was a story about
gentle.
It was the story about Santa Claus's brother, Fred, and how the role that Fred played, and how Fred ultimately had to stand in for Santa Claus when it came to Christmas time because of some mishap that occurred. And he actually, when he got the book published, he brought in hardcover copies for everybody there, and for the the small cost of $5 you could buy. So I bought one, and I have it in my bookshelf.
It's
And
worth $1 million now, isn't it?
Within the next year, somebody announced that they were going to be making a movie called Fred Claus. And he was like, he showed up to the meeting, like the next meeting, he's like, you're never going to fucking believe what happened to me. Those sons of bitches stole my idea. And he was like a Santa Claus looking guy himself. He had the shocking, white beard. Especially around the holidays, he would come with a Santa hat on. And he always wore suspenders. I mean, this guy could have been Santa Claus, but he was, from that point forward, just a bitter, cranky old man that Hollywood was stealing his dream. And he, if only for the cost of the litigation, he would sue them into oblivion and get his rights back and make his millions from this movie, which he never did. And as far as I know, died still raging against Hollywood.
I was going to say, so did you ever read the book?
Yeah.
Penniless.
Yeah, it is shockingly close
Was it
to the plot
same as the
of
movie?
Fred Claus. Really? Yeah. Now he had been talking to he had a literary agent who helped him to publish the book, and he swears that his manuscript for the book made it to Hollywood, and that's where they stole his idea. He couldn't prove it, but he was going to fight against the man for their goddamn theft of his intellectual property.
I mean, as he should.
And I have no horse in this race. But I will tell you, having read the book, that I think the guy
You
got
do,
fucked.
Bob. You knew him. We should pick up this fight.
Oh, this is Fred Claus was what, 2006? Something like that. It's been quite a while. I think if there was any fight to be waged, any war to be waged, it should have been waged long ago.
It is an old movie.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my.
But hey, I still watched it. Somebody got a 13-cent check because I watched it this week.
For in his honor, I've never watched it. Just on general principle.
What?
Because those sons of bitches stole his idea. And I won't
Sons of
stand for
bitches?
it. I won't stand for it, Todd. Oh, thank you, sir. Todd, we're going to do a shot here. And so
Shot
everybody
time?
else
I'm ready, baby.
in the chat and everybody else in the future, if you're in church, maybe wait until you get out of church, get back to the parking lot, pull that flask out from underneath the seat, and then you're good. But otherwise, grab yourself a shot and join us.
I disagree with Bob. If you are currently in church listening to us on your earbud, I say pull that flask out right now.
Well, you'd have to, because the sacramental wine does not count as a shot. Let's be clear about that. Just because in your earbud, it's like, oh, they're doing a shot now, and I'm in line, and I'm almost up to the front, and I'm going to get the little Chianti from the priest.
Chianti?
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. Wine counts, but not in a church setting, we'll just say.
You have to guzzle that bad boy.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then we should have made some sort of Schnozzcast whoop, like a loud noise that would dissuade anyone in church from actually pretending as though the sacrament was a shot they could do with us, because they would have to do the noise afterward, and that would give them away and humiliate them in front of the congregation.
Exactly.
Father, can we get to communion? I need to do a shot.
Yeah. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
I know. Let's get the shot going. Salute.
Woo-wee.
That's some good stuff. That Cocoa Bomb chocolate whiskey, fantastic.
I thought about you, Todd, because
it
I
goes
was at the
great
store
with the coconut porter.
and I was asking for the Pink Whitney, and I was eyeballing the Screwball whiskey up on the shelf. But I remembered that Cory really doesn't like Screwball whiskey. And I'm
I
like,
mean,
well,
it's not terrible. It's just not one of my.
but you're not going to do shot after shot after shot in
it's
the
not
show.
one of my go-tos.
Yeah. So that's a bottle of Screwball that I'm going to have to drink by myself over the next several months. So 2024 wins, I think, for me, it was we pivoted. Now, before 2024, we had done interviews with Dave Hill, our good friend and comedian and musician and famous hockey aficionado. We'd done interviews with Jason Klein. Detroit Paranormal Expedition. Shout out to Todd Bonner, and wish him a continued speedy recovery. We'd talked with who else have we talked with, Cory? Good Lord.
Sound Eaters?
No, that's 2024.
Oh, you're talking about previous.
Yeah, previous.
Yeah,
but in 2024, we did talk with Year of October, our new favorite band from Kentucky. Great guests, and we're hoping to have them back in the first quarter of 2025. And then we talked with our friends at Sound Eaters from France. Also fantastic guests. We had a fantastic time, and continue to follow them and hope to have them back on the show again in 2025 within the next 3 months.
Bonjour.
And we also did a guest spot on Have Cheetah Will View, where we were asked about our show, and basically we were the interviewee and not the interviewer, which we hadn't done before, and that was a lot of fun. So I think for 2025, our plan is I think we have at least 10 different folks, not even counting Year of October and Sound Eaters, to have them back on again, as well as Dave Hill, but 10 different other podcasts and content creators and influencers and entertainers that we'd like to have on the show that have responded back to us. So we look forward to that quite a bit. And I think that's an area that we have a lot of comfort with, and I think we've got a little bit of experience now. So low points of the year, I think the Red Wings. I got to say the Wings, dude. And we got to talk about this because I think after this we probably need to delve into sports with Todd. But, we just this past week they fired Derek Lalonde, their head coach, which many people have been calling for him to be let go for like the past year and a half or so, and brought in Todd McClellan, who was an assistant coach under Scotty Bowman.
Yes.
And I'm sure they were talking with him for a little while, but it seems like they pulled the trigger and gave him like 2 days notice to make it out to Detroit and immediately start working.
Which I'm not going to lie, he's got some balls on him, man.
Yeah? Just to take the job, you mean?
No. Apparently 10 days prior to him getting the job, he was talking with Steve Yzerman, basically being like, fuck him, I can do a much better job with this team. You need to get rid of him.
Which I'm sure is not the first time Stevie Y had heard that.
I'm sure. No, but
yeah.
Exactly. I sent him like 17 emails that said the same.
But for a guy that is actually willing to step up and take the position, like that's a pretty big. That's a ballsy move.
Yeah.
So I got to give it to him.
Now there've been a lot of.
I said the same, but CBY wasn't answering. Didn't hire me. Fucker.
And that's where we stand in that, Steve Yzerman. Sincerely, the Schnozzcast. There's been a lot of talk online since that about like how many years are we going to go with Steve at the helm, and when is enough going to be enough? Like Lalonde needed to go, but it's been 6 years. I didn't even realize it had been 6 years since he'd been brought in as GM. But how many more years? There was a sense that Lalonde was not the cause of the problem, but he definitely wasn't making things better. So whether McClellan can make things better or not, but they need to trend upward. I mean, I'd be interested in hearing what you think about this, Cory, but I feel like we need to make a playoff run this year. And it might have been getting too late. Like hey, we're getting toward the end of December, and if we don't make a move now, we're not going to have a shot.
I mean, it is already pretty
too late.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the actual numbers to be honest with you, but it's. I mean, we're kind of 3/4 of the way through the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as a playoff run, I'm not too sure if that's going to be on our sights this year.
It was kind of telling to me that in an interview, Yzerman basically said, like, look, individually, I've got expectations for every single player, and by and large, they're not living up to my expectations of what they're doing. Not every single player, but many of them are not living up to. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I assume that was communicated at some point down to these players, but maybe it wasn't, and maybe now it will be.
Hopefully, I mean that would only make sense. And I will say too, because I did see people were commenting on and I apologize, I can't think of his last name off the top of my head, but the new head coach,
McClellan,
yes.
Yeah.
They lost their first game, with him as head coach, 5-2,
but he had literally just gotten into town that day, that morning.
Yeah, and people were like, "Well, so much for a coaching change." And it's like, well, yeah, he had one practice with the players the day prior.
He didn't even know everybody's name.
Right? Like, how do you expect a coach to just come in and be like, "All right, well now since I'm here, we're just going to win."
You would think though that because he told the media that he'd been sitting around on his ass for like the past week just watching hockey and being bored out of his mind, and couple that with your statement about him potentially talking to Yzerman and telling him, like, I could do a much better job than this guy. You need to hire me. You would think that with all that downtime and all that boredom and him throwing his name in his hat in the ring, that he would have learned everybody's name and have some really specific thoughts about how he could change the matchups.
Well, yeah. I mean, the names, I can let him go on that because I'd be more focused on how do we change the overall game of the players. Like,
yeah,
I can learn their names later. We need a winning team.
You mop top.
So on that note right there,
you lefty.
We're gonna take a hard stop here real quick and come back. The internet the connection. So maybe it wasn't the Elks Wi-Fi that something was going wrong.
Still switcher.
It might be switcher. We're gonna take a stop, restart the Wi-Fi here, and I'm gonna restart switcher and do a whole reset on it.
So how long do you think we're gonna be down?
10 minutes.
Okay, so anybody still listening out there in the chat, go take a break for 10 minutes. Go kiss your kids. Go say hi to your spouse. Go take a bathroom break.
Make love to your spouse.
But come back 10 minutes. Set a timer. Come back.
Yes,
if you subscribe to us, then it'll let you know when we've gone live again in 10 minutes.
Thank you guys so much for being on this. And Gina and Lori did say that the connection was getting really bad.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to have to suffer through that. So please stick around. Give us 10 minutes. We're going to try to correct this issue, and we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Gentlemen.
Talk about an end to the new year.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've had better ends to years than this one, technology-wise, but we are here. So I'll just mention it just because, but for anyone who was holding on from when we had to take a technical break.
For 10 minutes.
Our 10 minutes turned into like an hour.
Yeah.
And so for those people on the live stream who happen to be coming back here, we felt like we owed it to you to come back live. And
even if we already lost you.
Yeah, try to finish it up.
Understandable. But to give the explanation.
No, it's not.
Well,
I'm not understanding.
Todd, always the fucking devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Todd Dillon.
But yeah, we apologize. We had some serious Wi-Fi technical issues and didn't get them fully resolved yet, but we were able to at least get this back up and running.
Yeah, hopefully 2025 we'll have less of that.
A lot less.
Yeah. But to finish out our year in review of 2024, Cory, do you have any highs, lows?
Well, this is a low, buddy.
Yeah,
this is a low. Course.
Well, Bob, you didn't get. Bob, did you even get to your lows?
My lows?
I don't think you did.
I did. We left off. We left off on my low with the Red Wings and their performance.
Yeah.
And
then we were rambling about Stevie Y and
total rambling. But my highs are the Detroit Lions. I'm super fucking high in the Lions. I cannot wait for Monday night's game, which we were going to try to do from Rays, but it's a night game on a Monday, tough to do with our schedules, so we're all going to be kind of watching it as fans, but can't wait to see, they could conceivably lock up the NFC number 1 seed with a win against the 49ers on Monday.
More importantly, though, tomorrow, Packers play the Chargers.
Minnesota.
Oh, Vikings.
The Vikings.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Vikings. Yeah, the
So,
Chargers play today.
With a win against a Vikings loss to the Packers on Sunday plus a Lions win on Monday. That's all she wrote, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
I don't think the Vikings are going to lose to the Packers, though.
I mean, you never know. I mean, remember last year when? It was 2 years ago that the Lions were the spoiler for for the playoff hopes for the was it the Packers or was it the Vikings?
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I can't either. They spoiled someone's fucking playoff hopes 2 years ago.
They fucked someone up.
They fucked someone up. And you got to love the grit of a team who's like, you know what, you're fucking out of it. You're not making the playoffs, but you could absolutely fuck over to the nth degree your conference rivals if you win that game. And a lot of teams do it.
It's always nice to do.
Yeah. So Cory, highs, lows, internet connections notwithstanding.
Oh man, I can really only focus on this right now. It is upsetting, but things happen.
Yeah. Can I say, in your defense, one of the highs that I've witnessed is your kind of coming into your own and owning not just home ownership from your, we'll call it domestication of the garage, the man cave, the setting that you have, but also the absolute fucking taming of the Halloween holiday that you've got kind of down pat, I think, at this point in 2024.
It's getting there. So I will say, this past Christmas, several days ago, I did receive a couple more animatronics.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
Don't
tell me. I want to be surprised.
Yeah. No. I won't let you, I will not let you guys know what they are until next Halloween comes around. But yeah, I got some.
Which is not a holiday, by the way.
And you're not a person, Todd, so go fuck yourself.
That's a good one, Todd.
So,
oh my goodness.
Got some new animatronics and some more stuff to add to the yard that I'm very excited about. And it sucks though, because now I see what my dad went through when he got stuff on, because that's all he got for Christmas and his birthdays. It was just Halloween stuff. And so you would have to wait an entire. Well, his birthday was in September, so he got to use some of that stuff. But
yeah, but even if he got Christmas gifts that were for the Halloween holiday, he didn't wait until September to start working on Halloween shit. I feel like that was, if not a year-round job for him, it was something that was always on his mind.
Well, on his mind, yeah. As far as actually working on it, I mean, that was late September. That's when he would really start thinking, or actually doing it physically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just, like I said, it just kind of sucks because I'm like, oh, I got this sweet stuff now, but I'm not going to take it out of the box and set it up. I'm going to wait till next year.
But there's nothing that says you can't do that. No one is telling you can't do that.
I know, but that seems like a waste right now.
Don't do it, Cory.
Yeah, no, sorry, Todd's telling you can't do. Stop doing that. Todd says.
Yeah, no, I'm going to wait until next Halloween season to open everything up and put it all together.
All right, what about some lows for you?
But what if it doesn't work and then you have to send it back?
Well,
then you'll have to wait. Then you won't get it in time.
That would be a low, for sure.
Well, yeah,
for 2025.
For 2025, right. Lows for 2024.
Lows for 2024, man. Huh.
Dude, it's taken everything in my being not to freaking do a height joke.
Well, the number of height jokes from Todd Dillon, that might be a low. That might be a low.
Then I guess you're underneath me, Todd, because you're shorter than I am.
The aggressive amount of height jokes from Todd Dillon. If we had an historian, they might have been able to rattle off some quick
Very
facts,
true.
like how many height jokes Todd lobbed at you in 2024. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, Danielle got into an accident.
Maybe Billy the Kilt can do that in 2025 for us.
Ooh.
Billy the Kilt.
You mean the role of historian?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea, but it takes a lot. If you recall our previous historian, Kevin Cromwell, he took that job. We didn't ask him to do it. He just fucking did it.
Yeah, he volunteered for it.
He volunteered and did it, and we were all shocked to hear the stats that he would just rattle off. If there was anybody who might be the heir apparent to the Schnozzcast historian from Kevin Cromwell, it might be Dylan Collins. He's got he's got the gumption. He's got the moxie. He's got the passion for the podcast, the likes of which few other Schnozzcast fans have,
and the gayness that we all like to see here on the Schnozzcast.
Listen, a little touch of gayness, a little soupçon of gay.
There's nothing wrong with being metrosexual.
Nothing wrong with it.
Oh no, I didn't say metrosexual.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we're not.
I'm talking straight, just sucking a dude off.
Dick sucking gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how Dylan rolls.
Yeah. Well,
who doesn't?
I don't know where to take that from here. Well, no, I do because Todd wanted to talk about our watch list from 2024. Some of the
not from 2024, but it's the holiday season. I mean, we didn't have our production meeting on Christmas because it was Christmas Day.
Right.
True. Very
but
true.
I feel like, and I don't feel like we've done this before. I mean, ultimately, I would love to know what you guys like your go-tos. I mean, I think I might have shared before. There are a couple things that it's not the holidays unless I'm watching them, and so I thought that would be an interesting.
So, do you want to start there with what's your Todd? What's your go-to holiday? Christmas / New Year's holiday movies that you must watch.
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
I will take another one of these on the bottom shelf of the fridge if you happen to be going.
You got it.
If I hear you squeezing one out, Cory, I'm going to lose my shit. So, I think my number one favorite all-time go-to Christmas, especially Christmas season, is A Christmas Story. Dude, the whole Ralphie, and the fact that they do 24 hours of that every year is awesome.
They do more than they do 48 hours at least, right? They do it all day on the 24th and all day on the 25th.
The 5th. It actually ended up stopping at like 9:00 at night because wrestling came on. I was like, I guess
that's all of that.
Hey, wrestling was more important than A Christmas Story?
No, that's how he knew that Christmas Story, like the Christmas Story marathon was done, because all of a sudden there were sweaty naked dudes doing the scissor kick move,
doing the dirty on the mat,
and he's like, "That's it." Now,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
that's my number one.
Totally with you. Like all day on the 24th, all day on the 25th, it's just like going over and over and over and over again. But I will also do pre December 24th. I will do. You start off the season with Die Hard. And if anybody says it's not a Christmas movie, go fuck yourself because you haven't watched it.
Bruce Willis said it wasn't.
That was a joke. Told me this year. That was a fucking joke. I watched that too. It was on a rose to get ratings. That's the only reason why he did it, because it makes no sense for it not to be. Yeah, that's good.
So I'm a little bit different than you, Bob. Die Hard is absolutely on my Christmas list.
Yeah,
but I don't do it early. That is like as soon as A Christmas Story was done with its play and it's dark outside, it's like the night, it's still Christmas, but it's the night, it's nighttime. That's when I get in that's when my Die Hard groove starts. That's my go-to. I've got my meal on. Let's watch a little gratuitous violence and a little yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
So that's your end of day Christmas movie.
Towards the end of the day. I mean, it's not the end, but yeah, that's Die Hard's late. I start watching the blood and gore and him running around with no shoes on. Yeah, that's my jam. Kind of after the meal. I specifically wait for that. I don't watch it earlier. I actually take a crack at some of the other non-Christmas Die Hard movies.
Well, one of the things I assigned to you for the season was Violent Night with David Harbour, and I was so happy to hear that you liked it.
I did. It's on my list now.
Yeah, it's on my list too. But on that list includes also Bad Santa. You haven't seen, dude. No. That's my watch list every year.
Oh, okay.
So I got to watch Bad Santa.
I apologize.
Obviously, Elf comes in.
Yep.
And personally, for me, I gotta watch. It's usually a Christmas Day. It's a Wonderful Life.
I'm right there with you. It's a Wonderful Life is always a part of.
Not on my list.
Not on your list? Have you seen it ever, Todd?
I don't think so.
Too white of a movie for me.
Yeah, no black people.
Well, he probably is. It probably really is. It's a very white movie.
It is.
No, there's a black lady in the movie.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That doesn't mean it's still not a very white movie.
Guess what she's doing, Todd.
I don't even. I that's why I haven't watched it, Corey.
Yeah,
I don't even have to guess.
No, I understand. I understand.
She didn't lose all the money for George Bailey in Potterville. So
no, that is true.
That's something.
She's got that going for her.
Yeah.
And you before you go on, Bob, I have to say, because we have to chew on this a little bit though.
Sure.
In fact, you mentioned one of my other favorites, Will Ferrell in Elf. That might be the greatest. If he didn't win like all manner of awards, I don't care how good the movie was. That dude like transformed himself into the perfect dude who didn't live in the real world so perfectly that I think every year, much like when Flick sticks his tongue to the flagpole, when he calls Peter Dinklage an angry elf, I am like a nanobit away from being sent to the hospital because I can't breathe. That it's so funny to me. I just have to say that Elf movie. I don't know what it did for awards, but that is brilliance. That is acting brilliance.
Well, first of all, comedies don't get awards. Very rarely do they get awards. It just is what it is.
I was gonna say I don't think it actually won anything. It won our Christmas hearts.
Yeah.
And it's become a Christmas classic that most people always want to watch.
But you could make the case, because I like where Todd's head was in that. Will Ferrell, in almost whatever he does, commits to the role with 100% seriousness, even if it's the silliest, goofiest shit. That like he never thinks about like, you want me to do what?
You're my boy,
like,
Blue.
he's like no, I'm in. I'm committing myself. And so you could make the argument that certainly for Christmas movies, Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa, Bruce Willis in Die Hard, Will Ferrell in Elf, David Harbour in Violent Night, Jimmy Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life. Those are actors who committed themselves 100% to the role, no matter how sappy or goofy or fucking serious, even though
evil.
Or evil. You could add Alan Rickman to that as Hans Gruber, just committed themselves to it, and maybe that's why we love them so much.
Well, I was going to say, because actually, on the flip to that, I don't have Bad Santa on my watch list, and I explicitly don't watch it because of how good a job Billy Bob Thornton does at being a bad human being.
Oh, like he's so bad that you can't watch it?
I can't watch it. It
takes you out of the Christmas spirit?
It does.
Wow. Okay.
And I love the fact. I mean,
I never thought about it that way.
There's some parts where he befriends the fat kid with the boogers and whatnot. And
well, befriends is a loose term. Yeah. But takes advantage of, absolutely defiles.
Yes,
completely robs.
He is so wrong in that movie. It's not on my list. I can't bring myself to do it.
He brought him the elephant though.
Again, like I said,
but don't do you think that really makes up for all the other bad shit he did to that kid?
He is so much the bad Santa, and he does it so brilliantly.
He really does.
Like literally, I'm like, oh my god, I despise. He is an example of the worst human being that could ever live.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is, and that's why I love that movie so much.
I don't watch it for that reason. I think it's so weird. I think that I until you said it, I'm like, oh my god, I go out of my way not to watch it because Billy Bob Thornton is so brilliant in that role.
Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that you said, Todd, was you wanted to talk about the movies that we had watched that maybe weren't necessarily Christmas movies, but our watch list for around the holidays. Go ahead, Cory.
Hang on, before Todd does that, I have one of my movies to add to that list. Scrooged.
Oh, I love Scrooged, and I have not watched that yet this year.
No.
Which is a failure on my part.
Yeah, you're already behind, buddy.
But this fucking Christmas tree is staying up until the end of January, and before it's down, I will watch that.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'll do the same.
Bitch hit me with a toaster.
Yeah. I got to watch that again. Yep.
I love that movie.
Yes.
We spread our wings a little bit this year. So I watched for the very first time the Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell.
Ooh, yeah, I have seen that. Just once though.
I know I've seen it once, way back, probably when it first came out.
And there's like 2 or 3 of them.
Oh, are there really?
Yeah, I didn't realize
so many Chronicles.
Yeah, I've not seen the follow up to any of those movies.
but Todd,
I like that.
I wanted to ask,
yes.
when you're talking about movies that we watched over the holiday season, how far back do you want me to go? Because I personally, and I'm a fucking huge dork when it comes to movies. I use Letterboxd, so whenever I watch a movie, I fucking put in the diary. I could tell you what I watched for the entire month of December, but I don't know that you want to go back that far.
No, I don't do that. I mean, ultimately, I start watching. So the thing, and I don't think this is a Christmas movie, but it for whatever reason,
no, doesn't have to be a Christmas movie. We're just talking about you were talking about our watch list for around the holidays,
around the holiday season. Yeah. So here's one for me that's I think so. I don't even know why.
How far? Hold on. How far back? Let's set some ground rules.
Okay.
How
2 weeks
far
before
back?
Christmas.
2 weeks before. So that's back to
through mid-December.
Well, 24th. That's the 14th.
The 10th.
Back to the 10th. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. So we're going back to the 10th of December. So what do you got? What was on your watch list from then until the end of the year?
Well, and so this was kind of a setup, and I don't know, and it's again, I don't know why this was on the holidays though, but the original Beetlejuice.
Okay.
So that during the holiday season I could watch the second one. So I actually ended up watching Beetlejuice for I think on Christmas Day or the day after.
You forgot what happened in the original Beetlejuice. You had to watch it again.
Well,
I can't watch a sequel without watching the original again, so I can remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's this Beetlejuice character?
Yeah, well, I want to get back.
Motivation?
Yeah, I want to know why I liked it. I mean, because and I hadn't. But again, I only watch it. I won't watch it again from January, or I won't watch it again from December. Today is December 28th, so I won't watch it again until next December,
December 22nd, 2025.
For you,
exactly.
Beetlejuice is a Christmas movie.
It is.
That was my question. That was my next question. Was how did
I don't
that
know
become?
why.
Yeah, how did that become a Christmas movie for you?
I don't know.
Huh?
And that's fair. That's some movies you just grow up associating with Christmas.
Yeah,
for me, the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy, I associate with Christmas. That's when the movies came out. That's when I watched them. That's when I rewatched them. I just associate that with the end of the year.
Was that not just a good marketing ploy?
It was them squeezing it in before the end of the year so they could submit them for the awards in the following year.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
But what? Oh, okay. We won't get that deep. I really don't care about the Lord of the Rings. So
no, I know you don't.
Yeah.
I actually like them, but they're too long. So they don't. That's where they're not committed. They would take too much time.
I love the fact that they're long. In fact, I love the extended editions, which are even longer because I've read the books and I love the books. So because they did such a good job, the more I can see of that good job, the better off I am.
Todd, did you just hear what I just heard?
I did.
You were like, fuck these movies because they're way too long.
Yep, and I'm like, nope. The longer they are, the better.
No, make them longer.
Longer.
Whatever other bullshit you can throw in there.
100%.
Please
17 pre breaks at the movie.
Yeah, that's
they sell the original trilogy, and then they sell the extended editions, which is almost an additional hour of shit. I'm buying the extended editions.
I have them in my DVD collection. I do.
Only movie you ever go to. Only movie you ever go to. They have 3 intermissions.
Exactly. And here's the funny thing, Cory. I have all the extended editions and haven't watched a one.
They're still sealed in the cellophane.
Oh,
They
for
are.
fuck's sake!
Just
They're too long.
Just collecting dust.
One day I'll be like, all right.
One day you'll be like, all right, and take those to the local thrift store.
I have one day I'll have 7 hours where there's nothing to do.
All right. So what else did you watch from mid-December till now?
Not holiday specific at all, but Band of Brothers, and because again the World War II and the winter scenes and stuff like that.
Now,
Saving Private.
Are you one of those guys who around Labor Day goes back to Band of Brothers?
Just during, like I said, during this time where things start slowing down, right? People, I'm not working, but when there's this extra time, so when Mary's not working and whatnot, there seems to be all these breaks, and so I take the time to go back and watch the movies. We're kind of laid back, we're kind of coasting into towards the end of the year, and so those are things
Right.
I get, yeah. Because I actually picked up things that are, I'll call them similar, or in the same genre, that I actually pick up, so that again I'll start assigning those things to you, because I've seen some really good things on my way to through this holiday season. So I got a couple of things to add to the gentleman's agreement list. Yeah, that's about it.
So speaking of that, we need to hit gentleman's agreement strong in January. We all have, I think, a handful of movies to watch. That when we come back, which I think is going to be the 11th, right? Are we taking the 4th off?
Sure.
I thought we talked about that. We can revisit that offline. But when we come back in January, we're gonna hit that hard and try to fulfill our obligations of watching what we've been assigned.
I've already watched mine.
Fuck
I'm already ahead of the game.
You did not need to say that and make the rest of us look bad. But
I'm ahead of the game, baby.
Anything else you watched in December?
Yeah, so I haven't finished it, but I want to. It was kind of one of those weird things. I started it at an odd hour, Mary and I did, but Best Christmas Ever with Brandy. I'd not ever heard of that one before, and so
that makes 2 of us.
Definitely
makes 3 of us.
Well, I think I saw about a third of it, maybe a little bit more, but definitely want to finish it.
Okay.
So that was good. The kid from American Pie is the one of the main actors in that.
The pie fucker?
The guy that stuck. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I can't remember his name, but yes,
I can't think of his name right now.
Jason Biggs.
Yes.
Yep, that's him. He's one of the main stars. Besides
Hell of a
Brandy,
pie fucker.
of course.
We're gonna test something out right now, boys.
Are you gonna try to walk
Corey's
outside and drive away?
No, taking his wireless microphone to hump a pie. Do you have a pie open in your house, Bob?
No, I don't.
He's got an indie though.
Had I known, I would have bought a pie 100%.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You got more, Todd?
And then Fred Claus. Hey, Fred Claus. Santa. What's the Fred Claus? The one with the Santa Claus. I think 1 and 2. I think there's a third one of those.
Fuck Hollywood and their Fred Claus shit.
Yep, Fred Claus.
Jesus Christ!
Oh
Hold on, let me just mute Cory right there. We don't
Thank
need to
you.
hear that.
Thank you.
Wait,
that's what I
just
knew
for a
was going to
second.
happen. That's what I knew was going to happen.
Right. What else after Fred Claus?
Fred Claus, the Santa Claus 1 and 2. Even though I think there's a third one of those.
Probably.
What else? I think that might be it. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
You don't watch Jingle Jangle every year?
I don't watch it every year, but the holiday season isn't over, Cory. I'll watch it before the new year.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
I'll watch that again before the end of the year.
I'd only hope so, because that
absolutely. I like Jingle Jangle.
Well, no, and because Nick is really rolling over in his. Well, he's not dead yet. So
I was
going to
say,
grave, but
what kind of fucking?
I know.
What kind of fucking segue is that?
Well,
speaking of that, R.I.P. Nick Bader.
I mean, not quite dead yet.
I'm not dead. I feel happy. I feel happy. Oh, give us help. All right, so just if we're going back from the 10th, and just a heads up here, I have used the month of December to kind of go through and whittle down my watch list on various streaming services, whether it's Disney Plus, Prime Video, Netflix, whatever it is. So I watched a movie called The Taste of Things, which is I think I might have mentioned this in a previous episode. It's a movie that Cory would absolutely have hated because it is 100% subtitled in French.
Oh yeah, that sounds amazing.
But if you're
mon ami.
if you love food and you love to watch people fucking making excellent food, this is the movie for you because it's all about a pair of chefs who just cook the entire movie, and that's all it's about.
I can go on YouTube and watch people cook.
Yeah, but they don't look as good as these two people. Then I watched Perfect Days, which is a movie about a Japanese guy who cleans toilets for a living. Now, it sounds ridiculous.
Yes, it does.
Nope.
But
No, it doesn't.
I will tell you that...
Have you seen the toilets in Japan?
Yeah, the toilets in Japan are unbelievable, and he was cleaning some of the newest, most unbelievable Japanese toilets. But the draw of the movie is that it is a quiet, like this guy who plays this toilet cleaner is a legend in Japanese cinema, and the last shot of the movie was one of the most incredible last shots I've ever seen in my life.
His arm got eaten up by a toilet.
No.
No? Oh, damn it. That's how I would have
He
wrote
was
it.
trying to kind of look back on his life and the relationship that he had with his niece and just where he is in the world. And if
he's cleaning toilets, so that's where he's at.
he wasn't anywhere near a toilet in the last shot, but it was one of the greatest last shots I've ever seen. There's a movie called Kinds of Kindness, which was made by the guy who directed Poor Things that won an Oscar last year. This movie sucked balls, and it was. I gave it 2 stars. It was the deepest piece of shit I've watched all year.
Poor Things?
Yeah, but no, Poor Things was great. This movie sucked.
Oh, the toilet cleaner movie?
No, Kinds of Kindness was the name of the movie.
Right.
All the same actors who were in Poor Things, which was great. This movie, however, sucked donkey balls. La Chimera, which is about a guy who is in Italy and he's a grave robber. And it was actually really, really good.
Todd, are you getting the same feeling that I am?
I know. I feel like
what feeling is that?
This is a lot of chick flick movies.
Indie Sundance chick flick movies.
The Indie Sundance, yeah, not necessarily chick flicks. I couldn't get, there were no chicks watching this with me.
Well, I feel like the toilet.
So your
cleaner movie
Kinds of Kindness
could have
got your Kinds of Kindness got a 6.5 IMDb score, and
That's
70%,
way too high.
72% Rotten Tomatoes. That's super high.
That's way too high.
for
That
Rotten
movie,
Tomatoes,
that
that's-
movie sucked donkey dick.
Letterboxd gave it 3.4 out of 5. This thing's a freaking amazing movie,
Dude,
Cory
you are
Dalva.
free to watch this movie and come back and report to us on how wrong I was. Also watch Challengers with Zendaya, the tennis movie.
Sure.
It was all right. It was okay.
I'm like Cory. Yeah, never heard of any of these movies.
Yeah.
You know who Zendaya is, correct?
I do. I do, but I've
heard
never
of him.
been to
I've
the
heard of
Cannes
him.
Film Festival, so I don't
I've
know.
heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
So then I watched a movie called Mad God, which was the most batshit fucked up movie I've ever seen in my life.
Todd, why are we letting him go on with this?
because Todd started this, and I let him go
I did.
first, and now he's going to let me finish.
I am. I want to hear all these movies that I've never heard of before.
Yeah. So
Mad God gets
Mad God on
6.8.
Prime Video. I will never watch it again. It contains some of the most fucked up shit I've ever seen in my life, but it's pretty amazing because
Monsters.
it was done by the guy who did all the stop motion stuff for the Star Wars movies, and he worked on it for 30 years and started it, threw it away, put it on the shelf, and finally his friends were like, we're starting a Kickstarter to help you fund it, and he continued to work on it 30 years in the making, and he finally put it out there, and it's absolutely fucked up. You should definitely check it out.
92% Rotten Tomatoes.
Just to see something you've never seen before, as fucked up as this movie is. I watched For Your Eyes Only, which is an old Bond film.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
It was the very first Bond film I ever watched when my parents had on TV, and I would sneak into their bedroom while they were sleeping and watch what.
Is that Sean Connery?
It was Roger Moore.
That's my favorite Bond.
It is not my favorite Bond, but he was my first Bond, and that movie I thought he did a pretty good job on. And then I watched, and then because of that,
favorite because it was my first.
Because of that, I watched Casino Royale with
All right,
Daniel Craig, which is fucking. I can't get over how fucking awesome that movie is.
All right, hang on.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go into this topic here
Yeah.
about Bond movies,
Sure,
I got to cut in.
go ahead.
Moonraker.
Ooh, I put that in my lower third of Bond movies.
So first and foremost, I did have to Google top indie movies.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Primer?
Yes, I have.
Of course you have.
It's
Okay.
a fucked up time travel.
No.
Yeah,
it's
neither
almost
have I,
you
Todd.
can't even understand it. I couldn't understand what the fuck I was watching.
All right. Well, so then moving on from that,
Yeah.
Todd, while we get into this, pour yourself a shot because we got one ready here, buddy.
right.
As far as Bond movies go,
Yeah.
so you guys are talking about Roger Moore. And,
Yeah.
and
Who's your
Connery and-
Who's your Bond? Who's your first Bond? The first Bond you ever saw?
Pierce Brosnan.
Uh,
Pierce.
I was so
Are you speaking for Cory? Todd?
I was speaking for Cory.
Okay.
yeah. So dude, when I was growing up, that's when GoldenEye came out on N64.
You played it. I mean, that was when I got introduced to you.
Oh, dude, that was we could play that game for hours. My dad even got into it.
So Pierce was your first Bond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and GoldenEye is my go-to.
So does
Bond movie.
that mean that Pierce is in your mind the best Bond or just your first Bond?
He was the first Bond. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Well, hang on before we get further into this. Let's Bob and I are sharing a bottle here. So cheers, Todd.
Salute.
Slancha.
Yeah, he was my first
He
Bond,
be,
and,
brother.
And I mean, he is up there. He is up there.
Like Roger Moore was my first Bond, but I don't consider him to be the best Bond.
He's
No,
my
and
favorite, though. I don't think he was the best. I agree. I think Daniel Craig is and maybe, again, because actors are getting better, but sorry to cut you off, Corey. But yeah, I think.
No, you're good.
But Roger
I would
Moore
argue
is
that Daniel
he's my
Craig
favorite
is-
because he was my first.
Yeah. No, I give him the first slot. I don't give him the favorite slot because I put favorite and best in the same category. So the best Bond, to me, closest to the books, which I have read, Daniel Craig, 100%.
I mean, and then once seeing like Skyfall,
Yeah. Skyfall is so good.
I was like, shit. Like, Brosnan was my first and foremost pick. And again, too, it's such a tough choice because I love Skyfall and all the Daniel Craig ones, but dude, Pierce Brosnan just.
The problem for me was that Pierce Brosnan, while he was the Bond because I was alive for that, I was older than you, and I remember whenever the whole world was going, why the fuck isn't Pierce Brosnan Bond? What are you doing with this Timothy Dalton motherfucker? And when they finally said, "Oh, Pierce Brosnan's gonna," the world's like, Jesus, about fucking time. Like the exact opposite they said when Daniel Craig was Bond. They were like, "Go fuck yourself. We will never watch Bond again." The world said,
Really?
"No."
I did not know
No,
that.
they said, "That's it. The whole Bond franchise sucks. We'll never watch it." They fucking booed him. He rolled into. They announced that he was going to be Bond, and his very first public appearance as Bond, he got on like a speedboat, which fucking did a like a 180 and like drifted into a spot, and then he just fucking stepped off the boat. Like it was a badass entrance, but everybody's like, "Fuck you, Bond isn't blonde. Bond doesn't have blue eyes. Bond is way taller than you. Like, go fuck yourself." And no one was excited for it. And then the movie came out, and they were like, "Oh, never mind all that shit. He's awesome."
He has made a pretty good dent in the Bond series, so I got to give him that. And yeah, again, like I said, when I saw because I was expecting to see Skyfall and be like, this is not going to do it for me because it's not Brosnan. But yeah, he kind of did.
Bob? You're the movie file amongst us. Is it true Idris Elba is being considered for the next Bond?
I would love to see Idris Elba as Bond. I've said that for even before Daniel Craig got cast. I'm like, because he was up for consideration, but I think at the end of the day, it came down to Daniel Craig and who's the fucking other guy?
But Daniel's done now, right?
It was Henry Cavill, but they decided that Henry Cavill was way too young. He was like 24 at the time, and so they passed over him, and then Henry Cavill got Superman. But yeah, it depends on you. I mean, they've done 5 films with Daniel Craig, and so now they're going to start again. So you don't know if they're going back to like a younger Bond. If they want to sign somebody to like a 5 or 6 picture deal, it can't. Idris Elba's too old. As awesome as a Bond as he would be,
Black Superman.
Well, they've already cast Superman for the new one, and it's another white guy. So
no, I'm saying that the movie. I can't remember the movie where he's a bad guy, and he calls himself. He goes, "I'm Black Superman."
Is it the one on the plane? Didn't he do a plane movie? Or am I thinking of Denzel?
No, that was Hijacked.
Hijacked.
The one
that you got assigned.
I just watched.
Is he a bad guy in that movie, or is he the hero?
No,
he's the hero.
I'm trying to think of what movie he was the bad guy in. Then
I think I'll remember what it is. He's the antagonist in one of the movies that I like.
Yeah, he would.
I'm Black Superman because he's half machine.
Half machine.
Yeah, he basically gets an implant. And they keep up. I'll think of it.
I don't know what the fuck movie you're talking about now. Tell me when you figure it out, because I'm really curious.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yes. No, that was. Wait, hold on.
Yep.
Hobbs and Shaw was The Rock and Statham.
Fast and Furious. Yeah, and
he's in that as a bad guy who's a robot.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah,
he's a freaking yes.
He's a cybernetically enhanced EX-MI6 operative who attacks Hattie.
Dude,
did you say EX, Cory?
Like XMI6?
Exactly.
I'm reading it from the fucking Google page I just pulled up.
I'm just gonna say right now, I really never got into the Fast and Furious, not from the beginning, and I know there've been 10 of them, and I fucking missed the boat. But the fact that you just told me about a plot with Idris Elba as a bad guy robot makes me just glad.
You should watch that one.
Never got into it.
Dude, here's the thing with the Fast and Furious movies. I'm surprised. I'm actually going to add that to my holiday list because as cheesy as they all are, and maybe this is just me. You know that I'm a car guy, and so to see the cars that they put out there and the driving and all that stuff is intriguing. And tell me, you can say he's a shitty actor or whatnot. I'm a huge Vin Diesel. Riddick. The Chronicles of Riddick. I like Vin Diesel.
What about Triple X?
Triple X, yep. Ice Cube and Vin Diesel, the same movie. Oh, yeah. I'm like, I want to watch that shit every day. I don't give a shit if they win awards or not. I love Vin Diesel. And again, when you put, I think Jason Statham, maybe he should be the next. He's too old to be the next Bond then too, isn't he?
He's also too old, yeah.
Oh, dude.
I love Jason
super
Statham.
athletic.
If Statham was a Bond,
oh my gosh,
I might jerk off to that movie.
Because you're gonna say he was gonna be macking on some hot bitches.
Why would?
Dude, Statham.
Okay.
I mean, any movie that I've seen Statham in, I'm normally cranking down to.
You love it.
Did you fucking spank it to the mechanic?
Absolutely.
Oh, the mechanic 1 or 2?
Twice.
Both? Did you do it twice?
At least both 3 times on the first one, maybe 2 on the second one.
Me and you both, Cory. 2 short dudes spanking it to the freaking mechanic.
Yeah. I'm learning so much. Just before the year is over, I'm learning so much.
I'm right there with you, TD.
All right, can I get back to my fucking list? Okay, so after Casino Royale,
Gina's back and laughing at us, by the way.
Yes, of course. Well, add and not with. Let's clarify. After Casino Royale, I watched. I re-upped my Disney Plus subscription because they fucked me.
No, Disney fucked someone over?
Yeah.
No way.
In the drive-thru?
They fucked you in the drive-thru. I watched John Williams in Tokyo, which is like a concert of like he
Another
shows
movie
up.
I've never heard of.
He shows up in Tokyo, and it's a documentary. Basically, it's a performance video where he shows up there, and they do like an hour long, like with some amazing orchestra that's in Japan where they love John Williams. And he shows up. He's like, we're gonna do we're gonna do the Superman theme. We're gonna do the Indiana Jones theme. We're gonna do the Star Wars theme, and it's fucking. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear that fucking original Superman theme from a really good orchestra, I'm like, fucking wiping a fucking tear away. I'm like, fuck.
Got
yes,
mad
bitch.
wood, do you? You got mad wood, do you?
Mad wood.
And you want to give us shit for cranking it down to Statham.
To Statham.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just drawing a comparison here between Statham and the composer of the greatest
Hey, at least Statham
movie themes ever.
At least Statham is a hot dude that does good movies. I don't know about a composer. That's kind of weird.
I don't know that I throw the word hot in there, Corey. I mean,
sexy?
Yeah. A man we'd like to be.
Oh. I was thinking.
He was thinking a man you'd like to be in.
I was thinking if there was a man I ever had to be with.
Yeah.
Then
On a tawdry evening.
No, it could just be a Wednesday.
Stories shall not be told. It could just between the two of us.
It could just be a Wednesday.
You, me, Jason. Wednesday.
And
well, if he'd be true to me, if he'd be true to me, I think like everyone, it'd be Brad Pitt.
No.
Wow, really? Okay.
If he'd be true.
On Disney Plus, there's a documentary called Timeless Heroes: Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford. Oh, the story of like him getting the role. Like they didn't know who to fucking cast in the role, and he's like, I'm working on construction projects around.
You watch a lot of bad movies.
Yeah. Okay. So the last two.
There's still more, Todd. There's still more.
It's a movie called What We Did on Our Holiday, and the only reason I watched it was because Billy Connolly's in it. I don't know if you guys Billy Connolly.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, no.
Is a famous Scottish comedian. Super funny. I'll watch anything he's in, and he was playing the uncle who is dying in the end.
Okay.
And he's like,
was he a toilet cleaner all his life too?
He did not clean toilets. And then, so the last movie, Todd,
he screwed little Japanese boys that clean toilets.
The last movie, Todd, which was just 24 hours ago, was called American Fiction. Have you heard of this movie?
No.
It stars Jeffrey Wright.
Who?
Jeffrey Wright. He's been in a bunch of different shit. He's like a classically trained black actor who does the voice of some Marvel dudes and
who's got an oddly large head.
I can't.
But he's a brother man, so I'll give Bob credit for that.
So the movie is about the brother man. This movie, Todd. It's a little slow, like it doesn't move super fast, but I think I really liked it. It's on Prime Video. It's it's about the black experience as he's an author, and he cannot. So mild spoilers. He's an author, but the books that he's writing are a little too highbrow, and he cannot break through. And he's disappointed to find out that this one chick who writes this book called what's the name of the movie? Weezin to Hood. And she takes the language down to like street language.
What's the name of this movie again?
American Fiction.
I think I saw the promos for this.
I did too, and that's where I'm like, oh, this looks good.
That's on my list of things to see.
I would have assigned it to you as an assignment on Gentleman's Agreement. Just because
it sucked.
No, I really liked it.
It's got 93 Rotten Tomatoes, 7.5 on the IMDb. Sign it to me. I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
it's on my list.
We'll see what. You feel free to watch it before I assign it to you if you want. I'm giving it a thumbs up recommendation.
Gina says you're making all this up as you go along.
Word.
Gina, you'd like to think that, wouldn't you, Gina? You'd like to think I was making this up, but in fact, it's real.
I mean, at least the last one, Gina, American Fiction, I did look up, and it is a real movie.
They're all real. They're all real movies.
I don't know how accurate his
let's be honest.
His review is, but who knows?
Exactly.
So I in fact,
can Cory get to his movies now?
Cory didn't watch fuck all for movies.
Things I've heard of
in December.
No, so I do have. So it's not a movie.
It's a documentary.
He's got a holiday hit list.
No, it's.
How many documentaries did you watch in December?
It was not even a documentary.
What?
Someone brought up Entourage on one of the past episodes we did.
Had you never seen
Entourage? You haven't seen Entourage?
No. I have. I think I watched like the first maybe like season or two.
Okay.
Yeah,
I never.
And I jumped off then. I thought I jumped the shark after season 2.
Yeah, and I never finished it all the way through. But for some reason, after we discussed it, and dude, Jeremy Piven, I love him as an actor.
He's awesome.
He's kind of a shit human being, but in that role, he fucking kills. He nails it.
He fits that.
He plays it. Maybe he's not even acting.
He's playing something close to himself.
Yeah. So I mean, good for him in that role then, because it works.
Yeah. Listen, the shit human beings as actors who do a great job, if they're also shit human beings and they're like, I can do this role because I don't have to change much. Perfect. I don't care.
Dude,
absolutely.
Just the writing for it and the number of one-liners that come out with Jeremy Piven and just how he delivers stuff.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. And so I even though
his timing is really good.
Yes. Oh, by far. And the first, like I said, after watching like the first 2 seasons, the first time I originally watched it, this pulled me in more because I don't know why. I couldn't tell you.
But you were watching new episodes that you had not seen before.
Correct.
Okay.
After like I said, maybe the first 2 seasons, and it absolutely beautiful. I'm still I think I'm on season 5 now.
Okay.
So I still have 3 more to go. But yeah, great.
I haven't. As I say, I stopped at 2 and I never picked it up. But I might do that. Hey, Cory, you know what I think it's funny though? You bring up Entourage. I love the fact that again, Jeremy Piven. You're right. His timing. He is the perfect asshole, piece of shit actor in that movie.
Yeah.
But now it makes so much sense as to why what's his name can't be Aquaman. Now that I've seen Momoa as Aquaman.
Yeah, they went a different way. They decided to go for physicality over good looks, right?
It's like I still chuckle. So I watched all the Aquaman movies and I'm like, yeah. I know why what's his nuts didn't get Aquaman.
Adrian Grenier.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, and then just alone with the amount of people that they have, even if they're just cameos.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those shows that you could tell like they were making it for that Hollywood effect, and they really hit the nail on the head with the people they got to be in it.
Yeah.
Even if it was for an episode or 2. Dude, like even Mark Wahlberg being in his own show that he was producing.
Yeah.
That for that short, it was only like a 10-minute scene that he was in.
Yeah.
But clearly it meant enough to him that he's like, well, I want to put my face in this as well, like not just be on the cast list.
Right.
So I'm absolutely loving it so far. Like I said, I still have another like 3 seasons to go, or 4 seasons to go, but I'm definitely gonna finish it. So that's been my.
I don't know if I can do it.
You don't think so?
I've watched them all.
I don't know if I can do it,
including the movie. I've seen it.
That's right. They did have a movie.
It jumped the shark so hard for me. I didn't watch the movie.
There've only been like 1 or 2 series that I've watched that jumped the shark so hard that I had to stop watching it before it was over. Because generally if like I've started it, like I'll finish it, and at the end, because I finish it, I can shit all over it and not feel bad. But I don't feel like I can shit all over it if I didn't actually watch the whole thing.
I can appreciate that.
I may be on my own on that, on an island on that.
No, like I said, if I lose, again, this, I would say, me being a part of this podcast, and watching the things that I do, I find my interest levels, and if something is subpar, I've kind of suss it out right away. And I think this Entourage is pre-Gentleman's Agreement for me, but when it jumps the shark, it gives me the opportunity to start something else, and then it's dead to me if I find something that hooks me.
Speaking of dead to me, can I just tell you guys how much I love you and respect you for letting me finish that list that I just went through of all the shit I've watched since December 10th.
It's all made up.
Because I know how utterly impossible it would have been for me to even get through 1/4 of that list 7 months ago. Right? There's no way I would have gotten
before that other guy died.
Yeah, but wow. You took that to a place I wasn't going to take it to, but
Cory started it.
But the fact that you guys let me get through that list really means a lot to me. I actually kind of getting a little emotional because I know how impossible it would have been to get like even 10% through that list. 6 months ago, it wouldn't have been possible to do.
It's the more to make fun of you because of.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with you making fun of me for it.
Gina's really laying into you tonight.
Is she?
Yeah. That's made up BS.
I get it. That's fine.
She doesn't see.
Did you watch anything else, Cory, over the holidays? Nothing else.
Oh, besides
Entourage. You watched
Well,
Entourage?
if he's working his way through 7 seasons of Entourage, there probably isn't much room for much else.
Yeah, that's
you don't switch it up.
No, dude. Once I get hooked on something,
you got to finish it all the way through.
I will finish it all the way through.
Because Todd assigned me The Wire. I watched the first season, and I'm like, I have to take a break and watch something else before I come back to season 2.
Oh yeah, no. So like even like with The Shield, when I decided to rewatch that, like that was something. Not when I was working. When I was not working, I would watch.
I feel like you're editing your language there for people who shall remain nameless.
Yeah. You never know.
But who may write your paychecks.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So, but yeah, yeah.
No good documentaries. Gina wants to know.
Yeah, none of those things were watched during working hours, of course.
No, I never would. That would be irresponsible of me as an employee.
Yeah.
Gina said any good documentaries. I really haven't even.
Oh, she took a break from shitting on me to ask you about the documentaries you watched?
Well, intelligent people like to talk about different things, Bob, than just made up stuff.
Tell me when they get in the chat room and they start commenting.
Oh, you're there. What about a good documentary?
No, that doesn't sound like that sounds like just the pablum of a deranged mind.
Ooh, look at another $10 word. Can you spell that word, Cory?
Pablum.
Yep.
So I haven't seen any good documentaries. If I had to take a guess, PAB, LEGM. Is there another G in there?
No.
I got the G earlier, but I couldn't. UM. Okay, yeah. That was close.
But that's okay.
PAB lum.
How do you phonetically spell that? Well, K as in Kyle. Y as in aisle.
L as in L. And E as in
No, the only documentary that I've even intertwined, not even in between Entourage, because Entourage has been the main thing. What's it called? Explore.
I just love that you intertwined them.
No, I didn't intertwine them.
Oh,
I thought he intermingled.
Without being
he didn't intermingle.
And no intermingling. Exploration Unknown.
Is that like a
See, I watched
BBC
I have like
series or something?
6 things in the offing right now. You said Destination Unknown?
No, Exploration Unknown?
No, sorry, Todd, you're right. You're correct. Destination Unknown.
Oh. Okay.
It's
Bourdain.
Nope.
No.
Hang on. No. Then it might be Exploration. His name, Josh Gates is the.
So it's not associated with cooking.
No.
Okay. It's definitely not Bourdain then.
No, like I said, it Expedition Unknown. Sorry.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Where can folks find it?
I think it's on Max.
Okay.
But it's
so much good stuff on Max these days.
It's good, but it sucks because
you're really selling it hard.
I'm
It's
good, but it sucks. Definitely watch it, but definitely don't.
No, because so he travels around the world to like find all these different places that like people say like, oh, like we have the Holy Grail here, or we think the Holy Grail is here, or you know.
You talk about the actual Holy Grail?
Yes.
Okay. So this is like a History Channel kind of a show.
Yeah, but it's on Max now.
Okay.
Or like here's where the lost city of Atlantis is at. Okay. And so he goes and explores with these people to try to find this stuff. Unfortunately, every episode, they never actually find anything.
Is that what you love about it?
There's a huge build up to it.
Did we find it? No. Tune in next week.
It feels like it's going to be on the news if they do.
Well, exactly. So so you know how the ending of the show is going to go, but it's still like them going out and seeing these places and like actually finding some sort of little bit of treasure or anything like that. Like that's pretty cool. So that's why I continue to watch it.
Rapper to a Hershey's Kiss in the North Pole.
Well, and they'll be like,
Santa Claus does exist.
They'll be like, oh yeah, we found a piece of pottery that could support this theory.
Yeah.
But that's all we found. Like they never.
I found a reindeer shit, freaking 2 miles east,
and it looks like it fell from 2,000 feet. So
exactly,
the reindeer were definitely flying at that point.
Exactly, Kurt Russell's reindeer too.
But which one thing that since I've gotten so wrapped up in Entourage that I haven't been able to continue on. Yeah, sorry, Gina. It could be Discovery Plus too. It's on both streaming services.
No, she said it's not. She said it's not on Discovery Plus. Just like your EX MI6.
She put a question mark after it, so she was asking.
Yeah.
But the Kurt. So now an actual show that hasn't reached a conclusion yet, which I think I have 2 episodes to catch up on, is the Curse of Oak Island.
Oh, okay.
It's an island in Nova Scotia that these 2 brothers from Michigan, from Traverse City, their parents were huge oil barons, and they've heard about this treasure ever since they were kids. And now, since they have the money from their parents that died, that have billions of dollars, they're going to
waste it.
Billions of dollars.
I don't need any pussy. I'm just going to sink it into check it out.
Dude, they basically own the entire island now.
Yeah.
Like they've bought out like plot by plot of land.
Okay.
To research where all this stuff has happened.
Right.
And from
it's in my backyard, Cory.
Twitch.
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Oh, screw you, Gina. It's a good show.
Oh, Gina rubbing other people the wrong way on the show tonight.
Yeah.
That's a shocker.
So that show was so stupid. It's a waste of time. It's like they found a piece of bark.
Listen,
from the 1800s.
Listen, Cory, this is exactly what happens when you go on the internet and you broadcast your feelings. People shit all over you. This is the part where we've been trying to get to.
They tell you the truth you need to hear.
No one's been listening to what we said, but now they're listening to it and they're like, go fuck yourself. No one likes the way you think.
They tell you the truth
this is
that you need to hear.
The next level we're getting to now.
So Gina.
Be proud.
Gina.
I love how you're like, Gina.
Yes.
Spell it.
J-O.
It's a soft O.
No, yeah. No, it's actually G-O-F-U-C-K.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh. Wow.
Y-O.
That's a pablum.
U-R-S-E-L-F.
We love you, Gina. You're number one super fan, and
You're my favorite pablum.
Yep.
But
wow, it's hard to believe we're 3 hours into this podcast.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Gina. So so this is a show I've followed all the way from season 1 until now. They're like in season 15.
15?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, it's a lot of work to find the Holy Grail.
Oh, my
15
goodness.
seasons is a long time to find anything.
Dude, they found it in 2 hours in frickin' the Holy Grail by Monty Python.
Well,
Indiana Jones found it in an hour and a half.
Because I'm not even going to touch on that. But so anyways, I've watched all 15 seasons. This is their newest season that's out. And
wow.
A year ago, I was talking to Scott, my mom's boyfriend, at dinner.
Yep.
And he was dumb enough, knowing, sorry, Scott, I love you.
Jesus.
But you were dumb enough.
That's only because you know he's not watching this. He's never going to see this.
He listens here and there.
Well,
so.
Okay. So,
and
yes,
he's like,
apologize then.
He's like, did you hear about what happened with Oak Island? And I was like, son of a bitch, Scott. He completely ruined the ending for me.
He ruined it.
Ruined?
He ruined it.
But I'm still going to continue on and watch because I want to see it for myself.
Yeah, you should.
But it was reported in the news about what happened on Oak Island about a year ago.
I can't. I'm just going to say.
I am going to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can't even imagine how mad Mary is at us right now for how late we've gone tonight.
Well, I was going to say, I hope that this show goes on for 400 seasons.
I mean, we're approaching those episodes pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, just in case we hadn't pointed this out early in the show, this is episode 310.
Yeah.
Of the show. And you just subtract 52 and that's how many episodes we've done up until 2024. So we are going to continue to try to bring new content once a week throughout 2025.
He said, bitch, get it right, Cory.
More shit from Gina. More shit from our number one super fan.
Yep.
All right, can we close this show out? Can we close this show out with a shot?
We sure can.
Or a question, Bob.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could. Let's make it a...
I'm only doing a shot if we can do a question.
I'm going to try to make it
end
a
the
quick
year.
one
We
here.
got to end on a question.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we got the live stream back up and running on its last leg, yeah, we might as well make the best of it.
All right. But I'm also looking at the time. And,
time is on my side.
All right.
Todd,
Yes, it is.
Don't you remember those copyright rules?
This might actually be a good. Let's do a shot and then we'll do the question, which will close out the show.
All right.
So, Todd, go ahead and pour.
I got my shot ready.
Okay,
I got it. I'm ready.
Cheers. Nope, you go first. Cheers, everybody. Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Please join us with whatever you got handy.
That Cocoa Bomb
try not to pour it
chocolate whiskey
directly into
is
your beer.
fan-freaking-tastic. Cocoa Bomb.
Okay, we've really done no drops tonight, so let's do this one at least.
Existential question of the week.
All right. This week's existential for a question for the last one for 2024. All right. I think that this question probably is, if I had to pick one for what's going to be the last question of the year, this might be the best one I could come up with.
There we go.
Might be. I'll just say might be.
Will be.
Mightn't it?
Mightn't it be? Oh, Christ. And now I've fucking put it away.
He
Here we
just had it in his hand. Put it right back in
All
the
right.
stack.
So the question is, and let's start with Todd. 'Cause
Yes, sir.
Todd's razor sharp tonight.
Man on a mission. Man
What-
on a mission.
What is the single best realization you've ever had?
I feel like this is gonna get deep.
It is. It is. Actually,
Yeah.
the single best realization that I've ever had is actually this year. This year, having time to do a lot of different things, to kind of discover myself again. I think the biggest realization that I've ever had is how, again, not in tune with other people I've been. Ultimately, how, in many ways, selfish and just not paying attention to kind of what's going on around me and being present. So yeah, I think just the realization that we are all going to die one day, and we should make the most out of every day, and spend more time listening to people than yammering myself. I think that's the biggest realization that I've had, is how it's often been more important to me to be right than to be effective in being a good husband, a good friend, a good co-host. And so yeah, I think that's my realization. It's fairly broad, but it's about being a better human being in 2025 and every day that goes forward, and really enjoying every moment that's given to me, because time and tomorrow is promised to no one. And so hopefully I'm getting better at being a good listener and being a good friend and being a good husband, being a good son and brother than I've been in the last several years of my life. So yeah, that's my biggest realization.
Wow, that is deep. Do you have a deep realization, Cory, to follow that?
I mean, I don't know if I have anything that.
Where do you go from there? Where do you go from there,
Yeah.
bitch?
Do you need a few minutes to think about it?
Yeah, I mean, if you have something, you can feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, I can go.
All right.
The single biggest realization I've had is that, and this obviously, so listeners of the podcast should know I'm double nickels now. We've had a double nickels. We had a double nickels episode. Todd hit the double nickels mark, and I followed shortly thereafter, and so now we're both there. 55. And one of the single biggest realization I've had is that I don't have to put other people first all the time. And it's a big realization because I've got two kids that for the past 25 years, last quarter century, I've put them first. Before that, it was my wife at the time. Before that, I was too young to really know what it meant to put someone else first, and so I didn't know how to do that. So, yeah, the realization that, oh, it's okay if we're at a party and I don't know your name. I don't have to pretend like I know your name. I don't have to find some way out of it. I don't have to pretend or ask someone to help me to fucking MacGyver my way around what the fuck your name is. I could just go like, I don't remember what your name is. It's fine. It's fine. I don't have to remember. I don't have to be the guy who always, tips first when we're out to the restaurant and it's a group setting. I don't have to be the guy who always puts other people first and takes the last of whatever. It's just it's a thing that in my life, for the first half of it, it was always like I was last and other people were first, whether it was my kids, my spouse, my friends, my relatives, whomever. And now I'm just like, why was I doing that? Like, it doesn't matter anymore. And so that's the single biggest realization I've had, because it really affected profoundly the way I looked at the world. And I can already feel Todd lapsing into stunned silence as to why I would say this as a realization.
No, I mean, no, dude, I think this is the perfect question to end the year. And ultimately, like I said, I mean, I love you guys, and you're right. I mean, ultimately, you've done so. You don't know how much you've meant to me in my life, and so yeah, absolutely, take care of yourself, my man. I love it.
Thank you, Todd. So, Cory, you've had some time in the shitter to think about this.
He's going to say something stupid. I know it.
Wow.
Thanks, Todd.
He's a young guy.
He is a young guy, comparatively speaking. He's the young buck on the podcast.
Young, exactly.
Which I did have to ask Danielle yesterday. I was like, am I turning 38 or 39 this year?
How do you not know how old you fucking are?
I actually don't know how old I am.
I get how you
Bob.
you don't know how old Danielle is, or me, or Todd, but how do you not know how old you are?
Bob,
it's a lifelong question.
Cory, before you say that, every time I laugh at you so hard when you say that I'm older than you, because I actually have no idea how old I am.
Oh, I do. It's been super apparent to me for the duration of our friendship how old you are. And it's always been you older than me. So the fact that you continue to try to every now and again pass off the fact that you might be younger than me is kind of
Dude,
laughable.
I never do the math. Here's the secret, Bob.
Yeah.
No, honestly, no lie. I don't do the math. Ever. I just don't.
That should have been the name of our podcast. Is
I didn't do the math.
We didn't do the math.
So Gina did say he's too busy touching his calves. I don't know.
Who, Cory?
All three.
Is she talking about you?
I don't know.
She
likely
must be.
me.
The dude with the hottest calves on the Schnozzcast.
I mean, yes,
she must be talking about you.
that is definitely me.
Yeah. So I can't relate to whatever she's saying because she's not talking about me.
I mean, yeah, clearly mine are better than both yours, but
I'm always rubbing my calves, though. She's got me figured out.
I oil those bad boys up every night.
All right. So to close out the show for 2024, Cory, what is the single biggest realization that you've had?
So as both you know, I always idolized my dad.
Yeah.
And wanted to follow in his footsteps.
Uncle Porky.
That's correct. And it finally came to a point in the world that I'm like, you know what? I don't think that's the best for me. And I don't think it's the best for Danielle and I, or even for my family. And so making that change of stepping away from what I built my entire world up for, as much as it sucked, it's been great. It's really helped Danielle and I, my family and I. And I think it's something my dad would have wanted. So, yeah, that's it.
Dude, I've never been so wrong in my entire life. You short motherfucker.
Thankfully, you're shorter than I am.
I love you, brother.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
And we love you. Happy 2024. We will see you again very, very soon in 2025. Please stick with us. We're so excited to make it into the next year. So on behalf of...
Sorry about the technical problems.
We've all forgotten about that. On behalf of Cory
what?
and Todd, this is Bob saying we'll see you in 2025. peace out.